Hey Nick, I got a question for you.
Shoot!
How do you find Will Smith in a snowstorm?
How do you find Will Smith in a snowstorm?
You look for the Fresh Prince.
Okay. Pretty good. Pretty good.
We don't have it yet.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another fun episode of We Don't Have It Yet. I am Nick. Over there is Wyatt. We are so happy that you are back with us once again for another week of shenanigans. How are you, good Sir Wyatt?
Terrible.
Terrible.
My
Oh, man.
internet is ass.
Oh, yeah, you got that Comcast problem.
Yeah, that's. Other than that, I'm not too bad. But when we rely on internet not only for recording this podcast, but also working my full-time job, it's kind of something I need to work.
I think you should contact your employer and explain to them why you need a dedicated fiber line run to your home. And
Yeah,
they'd probably tell you you have to start coming into the office. But
yeah. That's a battle I don't want to. I don't want to tempt that. I kind of enjoy my let's see, 15-step commute to my office right now instead of 90 minutes one way.
yeah, I don't miss having any commute whatsoever. I'm
Well, you
looking
got to go down a
through.
couple flights of stairs.
Yeah, yeah. There's coffee in between though, so it's fine.
Oh, you get a nice rest.
I'm just looking through my new soundboard effects of Detroiters clips that I've been clipping out and will be using throughout the show.
I know the people are absolutely looking forward to that.
Eat a dick! That's what I have to say about that.
So,
Oh,
you
what's
were
been going
telling
on
me.
with you? Oh, I
Uh,
was
uh,
telling you what?
no, you were telling me the other day. I just kind of want to get into it.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
feel
yeah.
like
Let's
we're
go.
probably in a time crunch here, so no one cares. No one cares about us catching up with each other. We can do that at another time,
Yeah.
or throughout this entire episode. But so I guess recently, maybe not recently, but it seems like recently you've been kind of on a, I guess I'd say, wrestling movie, wrestling documentary kind of kick.
Oh, yeah. You did want to get into my strange obsession with wrestling that has very little to do with wrestling.
I enjoy it
Yeah.
though because it kind of it intersects some of what I enjoy. So it's we
All right.
have like the
So,
the layman's perspective and the person that watches a little more wrestling than none's perspective.
yeah. So, I mean, I watched wrestling when I was a kid in the, I don't know, late 80s, golden age of WWF, what have you. Pretty much lost track of it, I don't know, at a young age. And it wasn't probably until 2018 when I joined Twitter that I had gone through my whole adult life, like not realizing like how popular this shit still was, especially among a lot of my peers. The nerdly community seems to love themselves some wrestling.
Oh yeah.
And honestly, in the previous, let's say, I don't know, 20 years prior to that or something, my only real exposure to anything was like the Hulk Hogan Gawker trial and all the shit that came out of that. And then I actually saw Beyond the Mat in theaters whenever that came out. So that was what, like 2002?
99, I think.
99, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. Because it was a small theater around the corner from my house that my buddy managed, and we could just come and go as we pleased. So ended up seeing that and got totally hooked actually on the idea of the behind the scenes. And then when you told me about Dark Side of the Ring, I was just head over heels. So for anyone that doesn't know about Dark Side of the Mat or Dark Side of the Ring, they are documentaries kind of about the whole behind the scenes world of professional wrestling, and it's generally about as wildly screwed up as you would imagine that it would be, especially back in the 80s days when I was watching it as a kid. Like, these guys were just unbelievable monsters for the most
Yeah,
part.
that's putting it lightly.
I mean, it was just booze, coke, halcyon, muscle relaxers, I like everything all in one, and tons of other drugs and bad behavior and terrible things as a result of the drugs. And it's just fun. It's like going to a NASCAR event to watch a crash. Um, while it's perhaps wrong that I don't fully appreciate their art, I find the crash parts and the examination of what led up to them absolutely fascinating. I can very much appreciate the athleticism, the choreography, the talent, the work that goes into all of it, the grind that these guys face, all that stuff. But the likelihood of me watching the next AEW pay-per-view with you is still probably a ways off. I know Wyatt is a huge wrestling fan, so this is all like probably offensive to him in some manner. I don't know how you see it.
Huge is probably an overstatement. I like
Lifelong.
you, like you, even lifelong at this point. I was
Okay.
I was a fan from, let's see, the Monday Night Wars. I remember watching a lot of like WCW and some WWF/WWE at the time with my dad. Every Monday night, either Monday Night Nitro or Monday Night Raw, and probably around, I don't know, 2003, 2004. It was like, okay, it just didn't interest you anymore. It wasn't
Mm-hmm.
like something actively made me dislike it, but it just for whatever reason, like I don't remember really anything watching any of it since then. And probably around the end of 2020 or maybe 2021, my cousins are both super into wrestling, and Matt in particular was talking about excuse me, AEW, which is a new promotion that started back in 2019, 2020 by Tony Khan, who's the son of Shad Khan, who's the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Interesting.
Yeah, so he started
I
his
thought it was
own
Dusty Rhodes' kid.
Cody Rhodes was part of it. He didn't start it. He
Oh,
was one
okay.
of the wrestlers, part of the quote unquote elite, which was a stable, a group that wrestled over in New Japan. Kenny Omega, the Young Bucks, Cody Rhodes. There's so many people that have already turned off this episode after hearing 3 minutes of wrestling talk, and that's okay. But yeah, Tony Khan's the money behind AEW. But Matt was telling me about this, and it was like, same with my fandom of the Tampa Bay Devil Rays / Tampa Bay Rays. No one in my family really liked sports growing up. I didn't have I wasn't in a Red Sox household. I wasn't, involved in anything. So around 10 years old, when I started getting into baseball, it was like, I want to be able to, I want to know history. I want to know the history.
Mm-hmm.
And I was 10 years old in 1998. Guess who started playing in 1998? The Arizona Diamondbacks and the Tampa Bay Devil Rays. So I was like, oh, this is really cool. And
I'll pick one of the new teams to be new
Yeah.
with me.
Exactly. So instead of choosing the Arizona Diamondbacks, which played halfway across or all the way across the country, I decided, okay, the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, they play in the AL East, they play the Boston Red Sox. I'll actually get to watch this team on at least, local broadcasts when they're playing the Red Sox. And I just kind of went from there. So AEW was kind of the same idea. It was this new promotion that just started. I could follow, the lore right from the beginning. I could, just follow the history of it. And when it started, its whole thing was basically that it was more like, I'm using air quotes here, like athletically, like it was more like sports focused. So like the
Mm-hmm.
wrestlers actually, they kept track of their win-loss records, and there was like a ranking and stuff like that. So obviously it's all still scripted. I'm not going to say wrestling's fake because
Probably leaning in more to the Japanese way of doing things,
yes,
I would
yeah,
imagine. Yeah.
which AEW is heavily influenced by Japanese pro
Yeah.
wrestling, but yeah. So that I had like a 17-year gap, and even now, like I don't watch every week or anything. I'll catch up on episodes here or there. Or, I'll read some stuff online because it still interests me. But even like a huge wrestling fan is definitely a stretch because I want to say in the last like 6 months I've probably watched like 3 hours of wrestling. I followed stuff along and everything, but it's not like appointment viewing or anything.
Understood. Okay, well then I perhaps judged harshly, or not harshly, but
Say
let's
you
not
judge
say
me
this.
for liking wrestling?
Nothing wrong with it. Well, I do wish people perhaps would not apply those things into their normal day lives and perhaps high office decisions that are being manipulated like it were a wrestling act currently.
Yeah.
But no, like, just going back to it. Yeah, Dark Side of the Ring is like one of my favorite shows now, and I can't wait for there to be more. And there are so many characters that I had like a very little outside knowledge of that they go deep into, and it's like, oh god, that guy ended up being one of the best ones.
Yep.
God, who was the British guy that was like such a piece of shit? Chris somebody. I can't remember. He was not the British Bulldog. He was the guy that was Gino Hernandez's tag team partner. But anyway, yeah,
Yeah.
his was just tons of fun. He headbutted a pilot while he was blackout drunk. I mean, unfortunately, most of them beat the shit out of their significant others. That didn't seem to be uncommon. He actually dosed his date with GHB. She died. There was a fascinating tale involved in that episode about a guy who wrestled in Canada called Grizzly Man, who actually walked around with a live bear that killed and ate his family members, I believe, in his apartment where he kept the bear. And then he continued to take tour with the bear and wrestle with the bear in public spaces. After
kayfabe, baby.
Yes.
Kayfabe.
Kayfabe. And I mean, how can you not be addicted to stories like this? I just think it's so awesome. But then, like, you start to break it down and really start to like some of the guys who are not complete pieces of shit. John Tenta seems like a really good human.
John Tenta is, that guy is a beautiful man. Like, I feel so bad for him.
And then Jake the Snake, despite his checkered past and history, seems to actually be a decent soul these days. And God, he's hilarious. Yeah, there were some other good ones too that I was like, oh, these just seemed like the decent guys out of the whole thing. But most of them were not.
No, it's the exception, not the rule.
Yes.
Sure,
the last surviving Von Erich brother, which brings us segues nicely into my movie from this week. But is that Keith is the last guy left alive? Kevin.
Oh gosh.
Kevin
Von Erich.
Yeah, so he obviously has like some of the best stories throughout the series, and you know they long shoot these interviews with these guys, and they cover a ton of different topics. So he's popping up constantly talking about other wrestlers, and he seems like a genuinely decent dude, despite the fact of
his upbringing.
Just his father seemed to be quite a piece of work, and a lot of tragedy in that dude's life, which brings us into the movie that I watched to go along with this. The Iron Claw was something that I watched this week. Talks all about the Von Erichs and their wildly screwed up story. Have you seen this yet?
Oh yeah, I saw it when it came out. It's definitely a tale. Like the Von Erich family is such a tragedy, and I assume you've seen the Dark Side of the Ring episode about the Von Erichs.
Wonderful stuff.
So this just kind of, you can talk more about it since you've watched it a lot sooner than I have, but this basically extrapolates on that, and obviously it Hollywoods some stuff.
It definitely did, yeah. Having watched that episode, I picked some places where I'm like, oh no, I actually know that didn't happen yet, and that happened then, and da-da-da. But yeah, just any wrestling dynasty family, it seems to be, are like, holy God, you people went through some shit. Like Jake the Snake, he was a wrestling family. His father, Grizzly Smith, was probably like one of the worst people on earth. Von Erich's dad, was it Franz Von Erich or whatever?
Yeah.
And then
we used the Iron Claw.
Yeah. So the movie, starts with him back in the day wrestling. And his whole move was the Iron Claw, which was just a dumb thing where he put his hand into a claw and put it over your head, and it was supposed to.
It actually really does. If you do it right, it really does hurt.
I'm sure he shows him in the movie like squeezing the living shit out of his son's skull just to show him how much it can hurt. And they had 5 boys, I believe.
I think so, yeah.
And one of whom is still alive.
All of them lost to tragic accidents.
Yeah, so they were the biggest thing in Dallas wrestling, which made them second pretty much, I think, only to WWF at the time.
Yep.
And they were a massive promotion all over the country, blah, 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 blah. And so the one kid died at like 6 years old or something in a tragic accident. And then you had the 2 boys who were already wrestling, and one was an Olympian, and they canceled our participation in the 1976 Olympiad. You'd have to test me on that. So he lost his place at the Olympics in track. So the third brother then got involved in wrestling. And let's say brother number two said he didn't feel good before embarking to a trip to Japan to wrestle and ended up dying while on that trip in Japan with a ruptured intestine. Then the Olympiad that stepped up to the plate to wrestle finally brought home the title for the family. And then promptly, in the movie, they show it as happening like night of. I don't know that that was actually the case. I don't think it was.
I don't think so.
Goes out on a motorcycle and loses his leg. Continued wrestling in WWE with one leg, which is pretty admirable. Nobody knew it at the time. He just wore tall boots and that was it. But one of his legs was a prosthetic. He ends up killing himself. Not too much long after his WWE star is actually rising, I think, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then another brother who was born with a heart condition and severe asthma and had brittle bones, who was never going to be this bulked behemoth like the rest of the brothers, steps up for the family at the insistence of his dad, breaks his shoulder in the ring from taking a bad drop on his already brittle bones, has a blood clot, and dies in shoulder surgery. So yeah,
at 23.
Wild
he died
story.
At 23 years old.
Wild story. I did appreciate they only kind of touched on it in Dark Side of the Ring. They really kind of went a long way in Dark Side of the Ring to preserve the boys' images, I think, and present them as having been victims in all of this, which is to an extent, I think, true. But the movie actually touched a lot more on they were yes sir, no sir to their tyrant father, but when they were out on the road, they were,
they
doing
angels.
everything under the sun. Except for Kevin, who's still alive, who is apparently as innocent as all get out. I don't know how much that has to do with the fact that he's still alive and can tell how the story is told, but that did seem to be the case. I don't know if you want to interject along here anyway. I'm just...
I don't know. My
brilliant movie though. As an outsider, not a wrestling fan, I really enjoyed it.
It's a great drama.
Yeah,
it really is. Kevin Von Erich actually is still involved in wrestling. He's made some appearances in AEW. He on and off manages his two sons who actually wrestle.
Oh, okay.
Yep, the Von Erichs. Obviously, they were Trios champion, Ring of Honor, which is a promotion within AEW. It used to be its own promotion. We don't need to get super into it, but let's just say it's like the AEW development league, more or less. But the Von Erichs were Trios champions with Dusty Rhodes' son, not Cody, but Dustin. Gold Dust from WWE, WWF.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
Remember that.
Yeah.
That guy's still going. He's in his early to mid 50s at this point, and he's still pretty damn good. I think he's out right now. I think he broke his leg in a match. And, when you're in your 50s and you break a bone, it's a little harder to come back from it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no, Kevin, and from everything you can tell, and obviously public persona is different than private persona, but you don't really hear it after all the tragedy and stuff that he's gone through and everything, and he still seems to kind of keep a positive outlook. Like I said, he's still involved in wrestling. His two kids are involved in wrestling. He seems
very grounded, spiritual. If he lives like on a ranch,
he's very
in Hawaii.
Spiritual. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All the stuff that they seem to show him, he still just like walks around outdoors all the time in bare feet.
Yep,
so
barefoot.
man after my own heart, right there. If anybody doesn't know, I think socks are evil, and we are being punished as having to wear them in society. Feet should remain free and uncaged. I agree with Ron Swanson's counterpart. What was his name?
Oh God.
Ron Dunn.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I'm glad you watched that movie. I actually started making a list of like documentaries and movies wrestling documentaries and movies that I've watched that I'm like, I want to toss.
It was one of those things where I knew my wife was never really going to have much of an interest in watching it, or she would watch it and enjoy it probably, but at the same time, she's never going to be like, "How come you watched that without me?" Because it'll just never come up. So I
That
just went
that
ahead and
was
watched that one.
that was the same thing when I watched it. I think Caitlin was gone for the night, or she had gone somewhere, and I was like, she's not gonna. Same thing. Like she would probably watch it with me, but she's literally not gonna care if I watch this. So I popped it on one night, and I was like, yeah, that was a good movie.
Yeah, I mean that was, I mean, much better than 90% of stuff that The Rock has been in. Uh,
That's you can up that to probably 95.
did you watch The Smashing Machine?
I have not yet. I've got it like it's on my list to watch. It's going to be another one of those ones where Caitlin's going to be gone for the night because I'm sure she's going to have no desire to watch it.
It's so fine. You're gonna be fine with it. It's about the most paint by numbers shit you could possibly imagine, and I think he's absolutely delusional if he thought that was gonna win him an Oscar.
I mean, he
Emily Blunt is pretty good, but
he is delusional.
he's playing The Rock with heavier makeup on. It's ridiculous. So if you can
Yeah.
tell wrestlers that I don't particularly like, uh,
Oh, you don't care for
That's it! Time to take you to the bottom! The rock bottom!
I have
oh,
a
see,
feeling you
they're
set
already
yourself
coming in
up for
handy,
that.
dude. Yep, already coming in handy.
So, going along with crap, and since we're already
Yeah.
talking about movies, you told me you watched, I think it was a Netflix movie called The Rip with
Oh
Matt
yeah, you
Damon
can't get away
and
from
Ben
it right
Affleck.
now. Yeah, I don't. If you've watched anything involving, I don't know, YouTube in the past 2 weeks, they are out on like every single platform that there is promoting this movie for Netflix.
I've literally never heard of it, which means that I must be so immune to any of this stuff that I
I'm
didn't know
immune to a
anything
lot
until
of
you
it,
said
and I'm
something.
not. Yeah, I don't. You know me, man. Nothing crosses my way
Oh, I
until
know.
somebody tells me about it. And so there I was Friday, and be like, "Hey, it's my pick." Talking to my buddy, what should I watch tonight? And he goes, "I got The Rip on. I'm like 20 minutes in. Seems okay." And so I said, "What's that?" And he said, "Netflix movie with Ben Affleck and Matt Damon." To which I said, "Is it a Netflix movie or is it a movie that Netflix bought? Because those are two very different things. Netflix produced feature and something they picked up on the open
Yeah.
market." He said, "No, I think they bought this one. So it's not like, Red Notice or some other horrific piece of shit." That was incorrect. Uh,
Yeah, actually, not to jump in, but that's the only thing I've seen about it. And I don't know if it's because we talked and because our computers and phones are always listening, but
hmm
I got tossed an article, I think, that quoted Matt Damon that basically said Netflix told them that, like, Netflix movies, the plot needs to be described like in dialogue like three or
Yes.
four times throughout the movie because people are going to be looking at their phones and they don't want people to forget what they're
Constant,
watching. Like that is
constant
so
exposition.
stupid.
Constant exposition. It sucks, dude. I mean, I'll go spoiler heavy. I won't give away the ending or anything, but like, it opens up that there are these Miami cops on some sort of, I don't know, Miami drug team, what have you, and they're going on a rip to go seize drug money, and it's going to be $150,000 or 300,000. Matt Damon's saying different numbers at the beginning. We don't know what it's going to be, and of course they open up a wall, and there's infinity money there,
Of
and the
course.
plot thickens. And it opens up as like the worst shit Michael Bay impression you've ever seen. They're like the cops all sitting back on the loading dock, and it's a perfectly ethno-represented team. They're all drinking. Before they all get in their cars, they're all on multiple beers and a bottle of Jack, by the way.
That checks
And
out.
he's like, "Come on, we're all going on this rip. Take your own cars." They all step while bitching about how they have no money and can't pay their mortgages and there's no police overtime. They all step into their $100,000 plus vehicles, huge lifted trucks, classic muscle cars, all that good stuff, and go off to the rip. And then it, like, if you can make it through the first half hour of being complete shit, it kind of turns a page and you're like, "Wait a minute, I might be kind of on board with this." Because of course the scenes that are just Affleck and Damon bouncing off each other are actually quite good because those guys have natural chemistry and know how to act. Anytime that they're not doing that, it's quite bad. But they set it up so it's going to be a standoff situation, castle defense kind of thing on all this money in the house that they found. And you're like, "All right, I'm into that. I can get into that." But then they just don't do that or go with it, and it just goes in a completely different direction and ends with some of the most ho-hum, boring action scenes I've ever seen in my entire life. I hate in all these new action movies they film them in the fucking dark, and so use a lot of quick cuts and a lot of darkness to
I was
just
just going to
hide
ask, is
all
it
the
just a lot of
sins.
quick cut stuff?
Tons of quick cuts, tons of darkness. So you have Ben Affleck chasing a armored truck down the highway in like a souped up Charger, firing a fucking AK-47 out the window. And this is the most boring scene you have ever seen in your entire life. Like, say what you will about Michael Bay. You think about the highway scene with the tractor trailer and the car carrier in Bad Boys 2. One of the greatest action set pieces ever. And it was just awesome. They do basically that scene in the dark and make it incredibly boring. You don't give a shit about anyone in this movie. It just sucks. And it tries to be clever, but like you just said, it keeps like over explaining things. And then there are a couple action set pieces that occur in the back of an armored vehicle. And if you thought you didn't understand what was happening on screen in the darkness before, good God, are you not going to understand it then? It's just shit. And it is such shit, not because it's even that bad, but because it's the most timid milquetoast paint with a broadest brush algorithm-based garbage that there could possibly be.
So it's a Netflix movie.
Yeah. I would so much rather watch a movie that is an absolute piece of shit, because at least there's something to grab onto there that's enjoyable or you can laugh at or something.
I've given you a couple of those.
Yeah, I think so. Well, at least those are memorable, and I'll be able to go back and say, like, God, yeah, that movie. This, I will not, as of March 1st, this movie will not, like, remain in my brain. I will be able to tell you nothing about it, because it is so bland, boring, nothing. And you know what? It'll do huge numbers for them, just with the star power on Netflix alone, I'm sure.
I mean, look at every Adam Sandler movie. I mean, I love Adam Sandler to death. Love the guy. He's from New Hampshire, you know, so I gotta show the Sandman some love. But look at all
I love
those
Adam
Netflix
Sandler
movies
as a
he's
human,
made.
but let's not act like he hasn't made some major
No.
pieces of shit along the way.
All of his movies, aside, I mean, Happy Gilmore 2 is the best movie he's made in probably 20-ish years. Not counting Uncut Gems. The best comedy he's made in 20
I liked Funny People. I think we talked about that before.
Isn't that
Imperfect
about
though
20
it may
years
be.
ago? Maybe 15 years ago?
Yeah,
That was
I don't
a
know.
while ago.
Yeah, and Happy Gilmore 2 wasn't even very good. It was
No,
just
it's just
it
the
was
best
probably the
one he's
best
made.
thing that could be as a Netflix movie that was essentially also a commercial for about 15 different products.
Yeah. Funny People is 2009, so 17 years ago.
Oh God, don't say that. 2009 was like 6 years ago max, dude.
I know you want to believe that, but we're getting old, buddy.
I know. It keeps happening too.
Smash Mouth was right.
The days keep
I-
coming. Oh my God,
I
how
was
have I not
hoping
gotten
maybe
a
you had a Smash Mouth drop.
Yeah, that's weak sauce. I should have not next week.
So I had a few things I wanted to talk about, but
Oh yeah, you had a few things you wanted to talk about. Well,
I did.
Let's hustle!
I think I actually want to talk about Stranger Things season 5. I had a few other things I wanted to talk about, but
oh, you know, we did this without you. Me and Johnny Boy did it.
yeah, but guess what? Johnny Boy didn't watch season 5, and he hadn't watched anything after season 2. So
I don't even think he finished season 2 actually, and
there you
you, I know, just finished season 5. So yeah,
Exactly.
we still have all of this to talk about. My brother, go right ahead.
Yeah, so Caitlin and I, over the last, I don't know, couple weeks maybe, watched the entirety of season 5 of Stranger Things. I had got them when they first came out, and I kept asking Caitlin, "Oh, you want to watch them?" And she's like, wasn't really super into it. She's like, we'll watch it when we don't have anything else to watch.
It's like the point where you've waited so long that you've stopped caring about it coming out anymore.
Yeah, and you know what? The broad strokes for it is after spending 12-ish hours watching the final 8 episodes,
Yeah.
like, I don't... And I understand, like, that sounds like, the hip thing to say now is, oh yeah, Stranger Things really wasn't that great and blah, 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 but, like, it was fine. It was fine. Like, I don't think that they knew what they were doing when they wrote the last episode.
So
I feel...
here's the thing, is since season 5 is finished, they've also released a documentary making of featurette that's like
really?
a full length movie. Yeah, I think it's called like One Last Trip. something like that. But my son has been watching it because he's binged the entire series. Uh, and why they included this in the documentary, I will never know. But it shows the Duffer Brothers in the middle of filming the second episode saying that they have the loose idea of where the story's going, but none of the last episodes have been written yet.
Oh my God. So I'm right. It's
And that's just unbelievable to me. How many delays did this production go through? And they didn't knock out the scripts. I mean, this was something we went off about a while ago. This might even been like one of my chump of the week shits or something. But like that Star Wars isn't moving forward with new productions until the script is done. And DC, James Gunn has mandated that they will not begin production on a film until the script is actually done now. And it's like, that was a bold thing to say, but I can't. How was it not written? It just drives me insane. But yeah, there's a lot, you can feel it in the last couple episodes that it was like, oh yeah, this is a bit patchwork, isn't it?
Yeah, it was like they were trying to patch it up. They were like, all right, what did we talk about this season? What do we need to do? And is there anything that's happened in prior seasons that maybe we want to throw back to people to be like, remember this from season 2?
Should Linda Hamilton's character have a purpose in the overarching story? Because she doesn't.
Which, okay, and I haven't watched season 4. I know, did you watch all of it with your son? Or did he kind of just...
He was going through it because he was still off of school into the new year and stuff. So my wife was building Lego sets while he had it on and stuff. And we tried to keep him to under, 2 episodes a day. He went pretty quick.
So Linda Hamilton was just introduced for season 5, right? It's
correct.
Been so long since I saw.
So Linda Hamilton. So in season 4, you had the army guy who was leading the troops around the country searching for 11 and was like torturing Paul Reiser's people. So Linda Hamilton is revealed to be his boss, and she is this Dr. K who is searching for 11 to restart the program that made 11. And that's your explained motivation. It never goes any further than that. It's just this blind, I want to restart that program, so bring me the girl. That's it. It never goes any deeper. It never reveals anything. There is nothing.
The deepest it went, and I mentally made a note when this line was said, was her whole reason for wanting to do it is to make sure that the United States has control of those monsters that they have over in Russia so that they can send the monsters over to Russia. That was the whole motivation for her.
You know what? I think they did say that at one point, and I did.
It was literally just a line that she had said. I don't remember who asked her.
Just lazy writing, and that's just like, all right, we're just going to rubber stamp that problem.
Yeah, and then they go ahead, and not to spoiler alert anything because it's,
fudge that. We're spoiler for
it's recent enough. I don't want to make too many people mad, but like you said, literally, you get to the end of the series. And you just see Dr. K still just being this mad, evil person. We get nothing else. We get no type of closure on her character. It's just she's going to spend her life finding 11, and that's what you get.
Yeah, and I mean, I could have even, if they gave her a little more backstory or motivation or anything, I could have dealt with a 70-year-old woman pinning a Marine grunt against a wall.
Oh my God. Yeah. I'm like, oh, cool. So we're going to say that Linda Hamilton maybe got some Terminator DNA in her now, right? Because the way that she just absolutely, like you said, just pins this guy who's probably late 20s, looks like a,
he's like
6'3",
just you straight up military
again,
grunt
that is snap your neck.
That is basically her dog that she sends to do her bidding, kind of thing, as her enforcer. Yeah, she like pins him up against a storage crate. That was funny. I could have taken that with a grain of salt, but it's like I don't give a shit about this character.
And that was the biggest takeaway that both Caitlin and I had from this last season was that we don't care anymore. And I don't know if it's a product of oversaturation, of building it up too much, of having there be so many delays and just having it take so long to come out that it's like, you know what? We've all moved past it. Like, you had your time. You should have.
I'd argue a little bit. I think there are still some great performances in there somewhere.
There are.
I think Noah Schnapp and, forgive me, 11, Millie Bobby Brown. Both seemed like they had no interest in being there whatsoever.
Bon Jovi Brown.
Yeah, in the last season, I didn't get the impression either one of them were doing anything other than going through the motions to get the hell out of this thing. Maybe I'm really wrong. I don't know. But, I mean, Caleb was still really good. I think Finn Wolfhard probably has a pretty decent head on his shoulders and will have, like, a very cool career trajectory. He was quite good. I think, you know what? I'll talk about something. They did my man Murray dirty. They kind of made his character an asshole throughout all of season 5. He wasn't like the joyous, fun guy, Murray. He was like just a prick. He was like talking shit at
everybody, at the science teacher.
Well, Mr. Clark. He kept like calling him Twinkle Toes for no reason.
Snookums and Twinkle Toes.
Like, why? Like, Murray, you're not that guy, man. You're not that guy, Murray. And
they needed to have some type of like protagonist, antagonist foil there. Like, I don't know what.
They could have fun banter without him being an outright dick. And and they did Argyle dirty, man. Just wrote his character right off the show. Or they didn't even write him off. I guess we're just left to assume he's back in California and that's it. Yeah.
He's back in his Vanagon, slinging pizzas.
Which I'm more than happy for Argyle, but he was one of my favorite characters for sure. Yeah, I don't know how to feel about it. I mean, I was pretty complimentary before, but I've since gone through a lot of it again with my kid watching it. I don't know. I think they put a bow on it about as well as they could have in the end, with all the delays and all the things that have to go into it. And, a lot of these times, these things just become victims of their own success. They become too damn big.
It was supposed to be one season.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be one season when it came out. Same thing with Squid Game. Like you said, victims of their own success. Netflix sees
Game of Thrones,
all of this money
potential.
About it, Yeah, Game of Thrones, like all these things just see all this big money potential, and instead of having one cool season of something or just one thing that's everyone's gonna want more, but you don't give it to them, which is fine because leave them wanting more, not being like I don't care anymore. Which
Chernobyl Series 2.
Chernobyl 30 years later. Yeah. Although they actually probably could do that.
Right now it would be a pretty entertaining story since the reactor core is exposed again.
Well, did you hear, I think it was last month, I was reading a news article that inside the reactors they found a type of lichen, I believe, that actually can eat radiation.
Yeah, there's life inside, munching on it.
Yeah.
It's fascinating.
Yeah. Like, that's
life
really,
finds
that is cool.
a way.
Exactly. Dr. Ian Malcolm once again proves us right. But yeah, not to get too down on the Stranger Thing, because like you said, it was perfectly fine for what it is, but I didn't care.
Yeah.
Which is I know that's a me problem, that it's it just didn't get me, but it was like I want it to be done. Like we had I think it was last night we watched the final episode, and I was asking Caitlin, like, do you want to watch it? I'm like, it's 2 hours and 8 minutes. She was like, is there anything else that we watch? It's not like, nah. She's like, all right, let's just finish it up. And like you said, there were some good performances. I'm not saying that it was like completely cardboard acting. It was just, I think I placed most of the blame. And now that you tell me that I didn't know this before, that the Duffer Brothers didn't even know what the ending was going to be going into it, that's just poor show running.
Oh yeah, and I mean everything at the end comes together so fast. It's just like everybody's all in a room, and we've just built up to this moment for 5 years, guys, and everybody's on board with this plan. All right, let's go, and they're done. And we're off to the races. Like it was just it was poorly paced. It was obviously written very quickly to fill in a lot of holes, try and be everything to everybody. And I talked about it with John. He asked if there were spinoffs. There's already an animated spinoff coming.
I did hear that. It's supposed to take place between season 2 and 3 or something.
Yeah. And one of the other things that I read was the whole part about the cave that they get into with Vecna and all that. All of that was a lot of backstory that existed in some off-Broadway production that they put on.
Seriously?
And that the audience was apparently supposed to be up on those details. But they didn't provide any of that whatsoever. So that was kind of interesting.
That was something I wanted to see more. Now that you say that, that was one thing, when you get towards the end, not to get, again, too into it to spoiler it, but seeing what happens in the cave, I'm like, this is something, I need an episode, do a flashback
Let's find out all about this. No, that's a play. Yeah. You can go see the play about it.
No.
Yeah. That sucks.
my medium is the medium you give me. I'm not doing homework to make sure I know what happens.
Well, that's why I don't give a shit about the whole Marvel universe. I'm not watching 9 Disney series to be able to follow the plot of your next movie, dude. Like, no. But yeah, I don't know. It was overall, I'll give it a thumbs up for the most part. Could it have been better? Sure. But after all this time and what they've dealt with, it is what it is. And I'm fine with them putting a bow on it. I thought the stuff with the actual kids was the best, strongest stuff of the season. I thought the girl that played Holly was fantastic. Fun little fact that we learned, the kid that plays dipshit Derek goes to my son's school.
Are you serious?
Well, he goes to the middle school that my son will go to next year. But yeah.
Yeah, that's wild.
So he's a little local celebrity now. And one of the best parts of the season. If anybody
really good.
Anybody who hasn't seen it yet, he's like a 10, 12-year-old kid, something like that.
Suck my fat one.
Yeah, he's a bit of a bruiser. He's a big kid and kind of plays the role of the school bully. And everybody calls him dipshit Derek. But he goes on to redeem himself and becomes Delightful Derek.
Delightful Derek, yeah.
But this kid apparently, lives down the street from me, and he was great. He was hilarious. So I thought that was really neat.
That's kind of awesome. That brings me a little bit of joy to know that he's a local celebrity. I can't wait for you to either send me the radio and or local television ads that he is going to be doing.
There was a whole, my son came home and told me about it. They're like, yeah, he had to miss such and such with school because he was on The Tonight Show last week. And I was like,
I did see him with Jamie Bowers.
Well, there you go. Yeah.
Who played Henry. Because they actually apparently, I didn't see the interview or anything, but it sounds like those two kind of really got along during the season because they did a lot of scenes together and everything.
Yeah, for sure.
Kind of cool to see that. Yeah, that would be, to go along with you, that would be my biggest takeaway, is I do think that the younger kids, Holly, Derek, which I guess are really the only two younger kids, Erica, she also...
And there's all Holly's friends from schools that get abducted and all that stuff. But
I just... The younger kids, I think, really shone in the final season. I don't want there to be any more spin-offs of them doing anything.
Don't count on it.
But I do think that they did a pretty good job.
Overall, the stories just work better through the lens of children, and that's why the first season worked so unbelievably well, and we're 10 years away from that. Like, the actors get older. It's just what had happened.
Oh, you mean like Jonathan, who I kept joking that he was like some 40-year-old?
Oh, you know what's confusing as hell in that show? And I'll tell you this with my son going through it. How old they're all supposed to be kind of goes upside down throughout the seasons. Funny, pun intended. But I guess like season 3, Nancy and Jonathan are working at the newspaper. And when we were there, I assumed that was like their first job out of high school before going to college. But then we go into season 4 and she's like at the high school newspaper. So was she supposed to be still finishing high school at that point?
Maybe. And then
it's so confusing.
Yeah, the end of season 5, she was in college but left. The ages of the older kids in particular seems really
and where Steve was at the ice cream thing, was that just like the summer job kind of thing? And then was he going back to high school? And then how old was Billy supposed to? Yeah, because Billy's over here, making sex dates with Mike's mom and stuff. So
and I thought he was like 16 or 17.
Well, he could have been like 19, that the older kid. He did have the Trans Am and the dirt mustache, so he could have been as old as 20 and still be in high school.
That's a good point. Good call. Good call. But yeah, I don't know. I guess I would have to go back and look at it a little bit closer. And I'm sure I guarantee someone's already dissected this to see what ages they're supposed to be and how it looks.
Oh, I'm sure there's fan written stuff about their
I don't know
in between times, and there's wikis.
Pretty sure.
I just thought it wasn't clear in the storytelling and that they were making it up.
Internet's just disconnected.
No, it didn't. I can still hear you.
So let's sit here.
But now's
for a
the part where you can't hear me.
Yeah,
there's
that. 5,000 milliseconds.
So I just keep talking, and we'll see what part of you shows up in the recording.
Cool.
I needed to pee anyway.
Internet dropped. Awesome.
Hello, Charlie Kelly here, local business owner and cat enthusiast. Is your cat making too much noise all the time? Is your cat constantly stomping around, driving you crazy? Is your cat clawing at your furnitures? Think there's no answer? You're so stupid! There is! Kitten mittens! Finally, there's an elegant, comfortable mitten for cats. Is your cat one-legged? Is your cat fat, skinny, or an in-between? That doesn't matter, because one size fits all. Kitten mittens, you'll be smitten. So come on down to Patty's Pub. We're the home of the original kitten mittens. Meow.
And we're back. I'm sure Nick put in a beautiful commercial here for a break that we had to take because Comcast heard me talking crap about them and decided to cut my internet again. So we're back. Nick's back. I believe he took this opportunity to take a nice little bathroom break, and let's hop back into it.
Thanks for telling everybody that I had to pee.
Well, the people need to know.
I know, right?
Because it happens every episode, and people will be concerned if you don't have to take a bathroom break during an episode.
That's true. That's true. So you got a chump. I
do. I was thinking about it a little bit earlier this week. I'm like, you know what? Not too much has upset me this week. It's kind of nice. Maybe we don't do a chump of the week, or maybe something made Nick mad. And then I remembered what happened to me last Wednesday evening, and no, I have a chump.
I'm looking at my show notes here, and I'm excited about it.
Yeah, so not to make this a super long story because it doesn't need to be, but I am a very big proponent of an app called Too Good To Go. I don't know. I think I've talked to you about it a little bit. I try to tell the masses about it because I think it's a great idea. What
Basically,
Too Good To
let
Go
me see
is,
if I've got it right. Yeah, it's restaurants around closing time put massive discounts on any leftover food for the evening that would otherwise be thrown away. Is that correct? And you can go pick it up.
Yes, and not just restaurants. Grocery stores also.
Oh, right.
Donut shops. Basically anyone that has, not even food. The Whole Foods near me, they do floral bags. They have flowers that, they just aren't going to sell the next day.
Perishables, basically.
Yeah, a ton of flowers for like $4.
Mm-hmm.
So I enjoy it because people get cheap food and restaurants aren't wasting food. It's a win-win. Yes, they could just donate the food, and they probably should instead of even selling it. But you know what? At capitalism, it's where we live. It's maybe, as good as we're going to get.
I can tell you matter-of-factly in my time at the restaurants, unless you have a volunteer that comes and picks up those things, they get thrown away.
Oh, yeah. As someone that worked at a pizza shop, I also know that. But they generally got thrown away into Wyatt's car and eaten by him and his friends. Well, yeah, so Wednesday nights, as everyone already knows, I host a video game night over at Capital Pinball and Gaming. Have a few people, we play different games each week. It's just kind of fun to be able to sit down and do some couch multiplayer, which I feel is sorely lacking these days. This past week, we played Super Mario Brothers Wonder, which was a ton of fun to actually ended up having 4 people being able to play with. It was really cool to have 4 people sitting there, 4 people that actually enjoy video games too, because sometimes, you'll get a couple friends that want to play, and then you'll get someone that decides to play, but maybe isn't super into it, or, maybe aren't at the same skill level, which is perfectly fine, but sometimes you just want to be able to play a game and play the game like it's, supposed to be played, I guess.
And you decided you needed cheap pizza.
And I needed cheap pizza because I didn't have any food. I looked at the app and saw there was one place that was actually a 20-second drive from the pinball club. So I'm like, oh, this is perfect. I will pop out at 9 o'clock when you're supposed to go to pick it up. I'll get my leftovers, and I'll just have a late dinner for $3.99. Not going to beat that, really. 9 o'clock rolls around.
$3.99? Damn.
Yeah, yep. After tax, $4.61, I think. Or
for how much food?
You don't know. It's a surprise bag.
Okay.
it's some of the places I've gone before. There's another local pizza joint that I've gone to that you get essentially like an entire large pizza plus like garlic knots and whatever else they're just trying to get rid of for $4.99. But this was Pizza Hut. I don't like Pizza Hut. Never really been a huge fan, aside from when I was a kid, because everyone loved Pizza Hut as a kid.
I said the last time I probably ate Pizza Hut was with a baseball team.
Yeah, it's been a long time for me too, but I was like, $3.99. It's a quote-unquote surprise bag, and from what I've read from reviews, you're looking at least like a medium-sized pizza that they're going to toss in there. So cool, whatever. It's in a pinch. It'll get me some sustenance. Maybe it'll be halfway decent. Pull into the Pizza Hut parking lot, go into the app, press arrive when you're here. So, blah, 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 blah. Press arrive, walk into the Pizza Hut, come up to the counter, kind of sitting there doing my little happy dance because I'm getting ready to eat my dinner and it's been a while since I've eaten. Guy comes up to me and he goes, how can I help you? So I'm like, oh, I got this, man. I turn my phone and I'm like, I got a pickup for Too Good to Go. I got a surprise bag to pick up. And
Why do you turn into a character from Dazed and Confused when you turn the phone to talk to him?
Because I'm hungry, man.
I got the pickup, man.
Yeah.
Go ahead, sorry.
That's how I talk in real life. You know that.
That's
I'm not
true.
Radio Wyatt anymore. Now I'm real life Wyatt. And I'm like, I got the pizza, man, and I want to pick it up. And I think partially why I'm putting this voice on is because the guy behind the counter was a huge fucking stoner. Yeah. So I'm just playing off his vibes here. And guy looks at me and he goes, yeah, we don't have anything. And I'm like, no, you got to have something because I paid for it and you guys put it in the app that you had stuff. And I'm hungry. He was like, I don't know. He's like, someone before on the shift before me always turns this damn thing on, and we don't have any food. This isn't the first time it's happened. And I'm like, well, you guys need to like fix it.
Figure that out. Yeah.
Yeah. Cause I'm like, I'm hungry, and the app already took my money. And the guy was like, oh, I don't know what you want to do, man. He's like, do you want to order something? And I went, I did order something, and you guys don't have anything, and I'm not paying full price for Pizza Hut pizza. I think I'm just not going to eat tonight. The guy was like, I'm really sorry, man. I don't know what you want me to do. I'm like, well, clearly there's nothing you can do, but like, what the hell, dude? Like, stop putting it on the app. And then the next day I go into the app and I see that Pizza Hut has 3 surprise bags for that night. And I'm like, I wonder what's going to happen with that.
But, so obviously there's some communication issues going on at this establishment.
At large companies, that is what happens. But, for a guy that hadn't eaten in like 12 hours that was looking forward to crappy Pizza Hut pizza and got turned away, Pizza Hut's my chump of the week.
Did you say this
I will
first?
get revenge on you.
And you are my chump of the week.
Chump. I put a flaming bag of dog poop on the Pizza Hut doorstep, and I shouldn't say that because now if that actually happens, I might be up.
I was going to say, and here comes the officers about an incident you didn't even know happened last week.
I did not do anything to Pizza Hut except rue them and complain about them to my.
So basically, Wyatt
followers.
threw a fit because he got hangry, and some poor bastard that worked at Pizza Hut didn't know any better and probably is getting screwed over and is complaining to someone on above him that's like, I wish Ron the manager would turn off this stupid app that we don't even know anything about.
Let's back up though. I was incredibly polite to the guy. I did not cop an attitude or anything. I literally just said, I'm not paying full price for Pizza Hut food.
Well, I understood that you showed
I'm
with your
I'm
your
the
accent.
furthest from a Karen as someone that ran my own business.
No, but you took the accent and you put on a little affectation. You were picking up what he was putting down because you said he was a good stoner. So you tried to approach him at the same level, perhaps, in a pizza exchange, which should be on the level.
It should be. There's nobody is above anybody else when you're buying pizza. We're all on the same level.
I don't know.
I just wanted to stand up for myself, and I definitely was not acting like a Karen. I am now that I can spout off to my millions of listeners of this podcast, but
this guy, people.
This guy. Can you believe it? Can you freaking believe it?
I just want all the dips. All I wanted was all the dips.
Oh, you just wanted all the dips? I'm not going to do it now. Nope, you have to listen to that another time. Sorry.
You know what? Fine.
We
I
got
don't even
mod
care.
sticks with all dips.
That's all I wanted.
All the dips. All
All
right,
right,
well, now that
so-
that's your semi-chump is done, I'll give it to you. And I want to talk backlog
Semi-chump.
busting with my brother. It's
All
time
right,
for
play
Backlog
the
Buster
new
Brothers.
music.
Yeah, I don't have any yet, but I'm
Oh.
still promising that I will eventually do that.
It's okay. We've only been talking about it for about 4 months now.
Yeah, it's fine.
It'll
But
happen.
we have a backlog and we're still busting it.
It's true.
So
Who do you wanna
I
start with?
assigned you a movie, and we both have played the same game. So perhaps you should give your review first.
It stinks.
Oh, lame.
No. So
Sorry,
you
Jay
assigned
Sherman.
Me... Thank you. You got to get that sound drop.
For sure.
So you assigned me The Life of Chuck,
Mm-hmm.
which is a 2025 movie, I believe, starring Tom Hiddleston. I think starring does a lot of carrying. I mean, he
Yeah,
was the central
it's-
character, but he was in it for about 30 minutes or so, which is fine because that's it.
It revolves
with the
around
story.
that character, but he's not
Yes.
necessarily, given the most screen time or concentration.
I don't think he needed to be, but
Yeah.
it's based off a short story by Stephen King, which I actually have a hold on at the library right now, which I think should be arriving tomorrow. It's at I think 109 pages or so, so I'll probably just read it tomorrow evening and
Oh,
see how it compares.
well, then I will take it to mean that if you're interested enough to follow up wanting to read the book, that you might have enjoyed the movie?
I wouldn't say that. I'm not saying you're wrong, but I wouldn't say that because I'm also the type of person that still just likes to compare written word to how
Fair
it's
enough.
portrayed on the screen.
Fair
So
enough.
you're not wrong, but I'm saying that that's not necessarily the case.
Okay.
I enjoyed it. I thought it was a fun. Fun does a lot of heavy lifting too. It was an
Yeah,
enjoyable,
not necessarily fun.
movie. No, even enjoyable. I liked the movie. Let me put it that way.
Mm-hmm.
As you said, it's a movie. It's done in 3 acts, which I'm going to assume that's the same way the book is done. It essentially starts at the end and goes back to the beginning. But as you had said when you were giving it to me, it moved. The movie moves both ways.
Yeah.
You're figuring out what's going on as you're going backwards, but it starts at the end and moves towards the beginning. It wasn't. Nothing about it was surprising, and I really
No.
hope that it wasn't surprising. I hope it wasn't meant to be surprising. I don't think it was. I mean,
Oh,
maybe it
like
was.
the
It's a
big
Stephen King
reveal,
book.
if you didn't figure out that, right away, then I
You
don't...
got
you got problems.
you need to be watching The Rip and having everything explained to you
exactly.
4 times
Yes.
throughout the movie.
Absolutely.
But no, I thought it was really well done. I enjoyed. I will first preface this by saying you almost unsold it to me when you told me about it because I dropped 1 class in college. I graduated with honors with an English degree, took many both writing, poetry, prose.
Oh, this is the
classes.
part where you're going to say that you dropped a Walt Whitman class?
Walt Whitman is the only class I dropped. I hate Walt Whitman
Oh.
with every fiber of my being. Don't ask me why. Maybe if I
Okay.
went back and read some of his stuff now, maybe I would feel better. But I feel like he is the most self-filleting poet that has ever existed. And
Yeah, I
that's
can
how I
see
felt
that.
in college.
Well,
I
it's
just,
equally filleted,
he is.
especially in media, because he's like a poet that people can name. That's why I would see.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. So when you told me that, I'm like, crap.
Oh, no, it's
But-
just a very, very small nod kind of thing.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
It was a big enough of a nod that you said it was about Walt Whitman, and I was like, crap. But that aside, I do enjoy the idea of Whitman saying that inside our brains is an entire universe. We create there's a whole universe that's between our heads. Like we're ourselves, we are everything, blah 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 blah, etc. etc. So
The
on and so
phrase
on.
"I contain multitudes"
Yes.
is kind of the central theme of the movie.
Yes. And it builds off that. And I really did enjoy that. It's a movie that if you're actually paying attention to the movie and you're not popcorn watching it and glancing down at your phone and doing whatever, it's really nice to see, at the beginning of the movie, you see Tom Hiddleston, and you see like these characters, and you see people that are interacting, talking about them and stuff. And as you're watching the movie, you go to Act 2, and you go, "Oh, hey, that's the person that was in Act 3.
Yeah.
Oh, that was that person." And then you even go back to Act 1, where it starts with Tom Hiddleston's character as a child, and you're like, "Oh, holy crap! This is there's a speech that was given here, and this and that." And it just drives home, the idea, I contain multitudes, I have this entire universe inside between my ears, this and that, and seeing how it all pieces together. And I don't think it's really spoilery because it's obviously meant for you to know that these characters are like showing up in other places.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But
No, it's just about how the lived life experience and the people that you interact with throughout the the whole journey kind of thing end up being characters in the story of you, so to speak. So they exist and live in your head, but only as you knew them then, which is the interesting part. Yeah.
I think that Mia Sara, who played Tom Hiddleston's grandmother in the movie, I thought she was amazing.
Absolutely knocked it out of the park. Yeah.
I didn't recognize her, and then I even like looked up like her filmography and stuff, and I'm like, she hasn't really been in anything for like 20 some odd years. Like,
oh, I didn't realize that. That's amazing.
Yeah. And for anyone that doesn't know who that is, and correct me if I'm wrong, but she played Ferris Bueller's girlfriend, right?
Holy crap. Is that who it was?
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
Sloane Peterson. She plays Sloane Peterson.
She gained wide recognition for starring in John Hughes' comedy film Ferris Bueller's Day. Oh my God. Oh, now I got to go watch it again. Oh, wow. Yeah. The last time I remember her popping up was Time Cop.
Yeah. So as soon as I saw her character come on the screen, I'm like, holy crap. I'm like, she looks really familiar. And then, so this was the time that I actually quickly just hopped in my phone because I'm like, who is this?
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's Sloane Peterson from Ferris Bueller's Day Off. I'm like, holy crap. And then after the movie, I went and looked at her filmography, and she did Life of Chuck, which I guess filmed in 2024. And then before that, she hadn't done anything aside from a short that she did in 2013. Like, she hasn't really done anything.
Yeah, she's probably enjoying her real life.
Absolutely.
And now she's getting a little older. And it's like, yeah, why not? I'll go back and do a project,
Which absolutely seems like has to be the case because, as I said, like, I thought she was amazing in this movie as the grandmother.
Yeah, the whole kitchen scene stuff with him as a youngster was really brilliant.
That choked me up.
Yeah.
I will fully admit, I don't know why, but like seeing that, I was just like, oh, I had like a little tear forming into my eye just seeing that, or just, seeing the memory of that, you see it at another point in the movie, and then, as we're working backwards, we see stuff, and it was like, oh man, like.
I thought Mark Hamill as the grandfather was kind of perfect.
He did a great job too.
He's a little too caricature voice actor-y Mark Hamill-y.
Yeah.
But it really works in this movie, so I was totally fine with it because the movie's a little fantastical, whimsy-ish kind of thing. So him being a little, over the top with the performance, I thought it actually worked pretty well. And, who doesn't love Mark Hamill?
See, I also think it works because, and this may have just been the way that I had watched it, which means it's probably wrong, but even as we're going back and we're seeing how these things play, I'm watching this through Chuck and how he remembers this stuff happening. I'm not seeing it actually as like we're seeing what happened. So when I'm seeing the over the top like caricature of Mark Hamill, I was picturing it as this is what Chuck was remembering. Because
as a kid, you always remember adults as being much larger than life and bombastic.
Right.
And wow, what a great point. Yeah.
It might not be right.
But it's worth considering.
That's what I enjoy about movies,
yep.
Is that, there's not necessarily a right or wrong. We can interpret it the way that we want to.
What?
But that's,
no.
As we were going
You're
back.
Wrong.
Yeah, I'm wrong. Stranger Things 5 was amazing.
You're not allowed to do your own interpretation. You listen to what the internet says, and then you go along with the fuck.
Thank you. See, you get it. But I'm trying to think. Like, there weren't really Jacob Tremblay, who played the
young version.
Like, yeah, not the young. He played the middle age or the the high school version.
Okay,
right?
yes,
middle school
teen version.
Well, because there was a younger version.
There was,
too,
yes,
so
that's not fair.
Sure
Yeah.
So yeah, the young teen version. I thought he did a really good job in his role as well.
Yeah, I had commented on him initially because he's popped up in places more recently, but I
I was
think
gonna say his name sounds familiar.
everybody remembers him from Room. He was the kid in Room when she won the Oscar.
He's also
for that
in
movie.
Wonder. And he's also in Toxic Avenger, the Peter Dinklage.
I still haven't
movie.
watched that. I need to.
And neither have I. I'm gonna have to.
Well, it just so happens that we have a movie for next week that we need to assign.
Too bad I already picked one.
Oh, okay.
But Matthew Lillard, who played a very small role in the movie, probably had like.
Oh, you know what was great, man? It was like I watched this like the week after all that shit with Quentin Tarantino trashing Matthew Lillard came out, and
he was great.
He has one scene in the movie, and he has a monologue, and he
nailed
it. Slaughters it, leaves nothing out there. Like he's great, and it just made me angry. Like fuck you, QT.
Yeah.
Go suck a toe. Matthew Lillard's a national treasure. That's serial killer from Hackers.
Yeah, Matthew Lillard. I quickly just hopped over to look at the cast because I wanted to see if there's anyone that I forgot. Matthew Lillard was one I forgot, but seeing him on there, like, yeah, his little monologue about everything that's happening and stuff. I'm like, this was really good. He had, like I said, maybe 3 minutes of screen time, 3 to 5 minutes, and he just nailed it. Like.
Yep.
Nick Offerman narrated the entire movie.
He's
the central
he's great
voice.
Too.
He was just hearing him narrate anything. I think when we first started watching the movie, I think he has some of the first lines, talking over. And Caitlin was like, "Oh, I would listen to him like narrate anything.
He's
like
so
I love
comforting.
listening to his voice." I don't have a ton else to say about it other than it was a great pick. And I know I had talked to you after I had watched it and just said that I think I said I have feelings about it and Caitlin has feelings about it too. And I didn't tell you anything.
Yeah, I
more
was
than
left in the
that.
dark. We just get a message. It's like, I watched it. I have feelings.
Yep.
I think that was the message. I was like, okay, does that go in one way or the other? And you're like, yeah, you'll get to find out when we record the show.
Well, we can't always pull the wool over everyone's eyes and act like we haven't heard everything before.
I would say
in this case,
111-minute runtime too, which is a nice.
Was it that long?
It's a pleasure because it's a tight running time, but it didn't feel. Yeah. I mean, it went right by because I was fully engaged throughout the whole thing. But so many movies are unnecessarily long now, and I felt like that movie was just right in the pocket.
One last person I wanted to talk about, and I just saw them on here. I'm gonna butcher his name, and I apologize because I absolutely love him.
Giotella Geofor.
Yes. No.
Yeah.
David Delsmakian, I believe.
Oh yeah, God, he's only in one scene too,
yes.
and he rules so hard.
Just
I have
little
no idea
bit
how to pronounce his last name.
I want to say it's like Delsmakian, but
yeah, he does a monologue about Pornhub going offline, and it's brilliant, and you feel for him.
Yeah, because I think his wife either died or no, she left them. Actually, I think she did die because
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter, and you get to watch it in the first 10 minutes of the movie. But yeah, that was brilliant. I forgot all about that. Yeah, and it doesn't come off at all as like a creepy guy. You actually are like, oh, you poor bastard.
Yep.
Yeah, God, I forgot all about that. That was great.
Yeah, that was. I would highly recommend. I mean, on my scale, I'd give it probably like an 8.5, 8 to an 8.5, maybe even higher.
I'd put it well in the 8s. Yeah.
Maybe 8.75. I don't think
it was a perfect movie to hold my attention on a Friday night when I ate a 200 milligram dope rope. I couldn't have looked at my phone because concentrating on more than one thing was off the table. So I was locked in, man, and I just had a big smile across my face for most of it. So I was wondering how much of it might have been assisted by that, and I wanted to get your take.
My sober brain's take.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought it was great. I really hope if anyone out there hasn't seen it yet, definitely give it a watch. Parts of it were fun. Parts of it will make you sad. Parts of it will make you, a little probably introspective on your own life. And I think that's of those
things that I don't know, that I don't want to say whimsy again, but just kind of that Spielbergian magic air of a movie that I don't know how else to describe it, but just something movie magical about it that just you can go through the roller coaster of feelings kind of thing. It's good.
The last thing I'll say is, and I think I actually appreciate it now after watching the movie. The like cover or the poster art tells you absolutely nothing about the movie. Like I've seen this movie poster which is just Tom Hiddleston doing like a little shuffle on like this galactic
water.
background.
Yeah, with like this, yeah, it looks like he's standing on water with like the
Yeah.
universe behind
Yeah.
him to paint a picture. Everyone will have looked at it and go, "Oh, I've seen that picture."
Right.
Yeah.
It tells you absolutely nothing about the movie, and I actually appreciate that because and also that I mean that's part of the reason I think that I never even popped it on because I was like, I don't know.
That doesn't
I
look like
didn't-
my thing. I know nothing about it. And next. Yeah. I don't remember what made me pick it up and watch it. If I heard about it on something else or read about it somewhere or just said, screw it, let's try that. That very well may have been the case as well.
I need to actually, now that I'm looking at it, I need to stop doing that because that's the same reason why I never watched I Like Killing Flies back when it was on like original Netflix streaming because I
Horrible
saw like,
cover. Horrible cover it had back then. Yep.
And I
it
never
does
even
look
clicked
very
on
low
it
budget.
to see
Yep.
the synopsis. I just went over. I'm like, yeah,
Nuts to
this
that.
probably isn't anything that I want to see. So that's two movies that I've watched that I avoided because I'm like, this movie poster means nothing. So I guess the old adage, don't judge a book by its cover.
Yeah,
is-
God, I mean, promotion and marketing department disappoints like how important your job is these days, in that I might develop a like actual anger towards a product I know nothing about just because I decide that that poster is not for me. And then you keep seeing it pop up and you're like, well, now I'm really not going to watch it.
And then Nick assigns it to me on a podcast, and I watch it and go, crap, I really should have watched this when it first came out.
No. I love being able to discover things that may have passed us by. That's the whole point of this damn show, right?
That's true. Speaking of things that passed us by, I assigned you a video game that came out in the year, 2017. So almost 10 years ago. So speaking of passing us by, we've now both actually played it because I assigned it to you because I played maybe 2 or 3 hours of it when it came out, and then for whatever reason, it just
Left it on the
fell
shelf.
off my radar.
Yep.
Yeah. So I assigned you the Team Cherry game Hollow Knight.
Yeah, it's quite famous. It's so famous, in fact, that I even like have a Hollow Knight controller holder thing that's his head sitting on my table before having even played this game. But I liked it and saw it on AliExpress, so I bought it. So this was, like you said, 2017 Metroidvania, and has become pretty iconic at this point, I think.
Yeah.
Hollow Knight Silk Song has been in development since that time, which is the sequel. Took 8 years and just came out this past year to rave reviews. These games, I think, are known for beautiful art style, really tight controls in combat, and some pretty tough difficulty in places. Where are you playing it?
So I originally started playing it. I found an native Android port of the game. Someone actually recompiled the game directly into Android
that's
to play
awesome.
on my Ambernick, which I was like, oh, cool. I'll do this handheld. And then I actually found my Steam dock, which was great because I was like, oh, I had asked you, hey, what's a good, cheap USB-C dock I can do to hook this up to my TV? Thankfully, I
Spoiler, they're all
found-
mostly the same.
They are. Absolutely. They 100% are.
Yeah.
So I played that. I think I played like I played like an hour and a half of it on that. And then for whatever reason, I was like, I don't really enjoy the way that my Steam dock hooks up to the Ambernick. It doesn't sit very well. And I've actually it disconnected a couple times. So I'm like, you know what? I found a different way I'm going to do this. And I want to actually test how this works. We were talking about Moonlight and, Sunlight. I'm like, even though, I guess I'm off camera now because I'm trying to hope that it's not going to disconnect us again.
That's quite all right.
But so behind me I've got a TV up here in the little loft here, and my gaming computer is right where I'm sitting right now. So it's only like, I don't know, 5 feet away, and I could actually probably just run an HDMI cable over to the TV over there and not stream it, which I guess might be the smart thing to do. But
what
we have
you used to do
technology.
back
Why
in-
don't we use it?
We used to run really long S-video cables from the computer all the way
Yeah.
to a CRT back in the day, baby.
Yep.
That's how we would watch downloaded stuff.
So I've been playing it from my gaming PC via Moonlight onto my TV, which in a game like Hollow Knight, where, like you said, controls are tight. Like it's a tough game. Like timing is of the essence.
Yeah, latency would be a concern, I would imagine.
I think I've died. So I had to start over because I started my Steam version instead of doing the Android version, which was okay because that first hour plus that I had played on the Ambernick, it was exploring. So then when I started over, I'm like, okay, I know
You know where to go, what to do.
Yeah. So it worked great. I died once, and that was because I was just stupid. It wasn't even in combat. I didn't realize I only had 1 health left, and I fell into like the boiling water or whatever and died. And I'm like, crap, you idiot. But it played great on my end. I've picked up. Well, I guess there are spoilers, but I've picked up a few different upgrades. I think I've been to.
Spoilers are okay on a game that came out in 2017.
But
I'm okay
you
with it.
haven't finished the entire
okay
game
with it.
either, so I don't want to spoil it for you.
This is true.
So I've made it to I think 3 or 4 of the biomes. I've unlocked 2 or 3 like upgrades, which that's my favorite part of Metroidvania games. And always Ori and the Blind Forest, Ori and the Will of the Wisps.
Oh, you're always just waiting until you can finally get your double jump, because then you know those platforms that you can go back to and now you can explore, or you're finally got your morph ball or what have you, right?
Or you've got your dash, or you've got, whatever. So I've unlocked a couple of the upgrades, and now I can see the map starting to open up a little bit where I'm like, okay, cool. Now I can wall jump and I can do this and I can make it over here. And
yeah,
I've been having fun so far. I think I talked to you about this offline. Actually, technically online, because most of our conversations are online. Off of the podcast about maybe not assigning a video game for either of us for at least like the next week or so.
Yeah, I mean, this deserves another week's attention, and I have been playing it.
I'm fully engrossed in it myself.
Yeah, I'm on the 3rd biome, or my 3rd biome, I guess, and I think, I don't know, probably have like 8 and 10 hours, something like that. And but I've just been exploring and having a blast with it. It plays so well. Something that I guess was not aware of was the hand-drawn art style.
Yep.
In so much as like I knew what the character looked like, but so many of the enemies almost have like a Cuphead animation to them, and it's beautiful. I mean, just the entire game is absolutely gorgeous. I'm playing it on my shiny new AYN Odin 3, which is another Android handheld, but I actually own it on Switch, but I'm playing it on Switch emulation on the Odin 3, which means I'm not pirating it.
Because you own it.
I have a license to play the game, so it's not piracy, even though the game's still sitting on the shelf because I'm playing it on a device that can't insert a game card. But God, I don't know how much work that hardware is doing versus a regular Switch, but the game is just stunning. And you put it on a gorgeous OLED screen, it's going to look even better. I'm sure it looks great on the Switch OLED as well.
It looked great. The 557's an OLED, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes,
it looked amazing playing that on handheld. That was what I was going to ask you. Have you made it to the mushroom biome yet?
I just left the green one, which was the 2nd place. I can't remember. Honestly, I'd have to.
If you don't just say yes,
I don't think so. I don't think so. Then no.
Because the reason why I say it is you talking about the hand-drawn art style and the Cuphead type stuff. There is a large mushroom, a medium-sized mushroom enemy that the drawing of it just looks so friggin' cool. I saw that enemy, I'm like, oh my god, he is adorable.
The very first boss early in the game was fake knight or something like that, false knight, faux knight, whatever it is.
Yeah,
but,
false knight.
Yeah, oh my god, that was gorgeous. That was so good. It's this bulbous, blobular character stuffed inside a suit of armor and just looks fantastic animated.
I'm gonna put this in our show chat right here. This is the enemy I'm talking about. He just looks like.
Oh yeah, no, I've not.
Yeah,
I want to make friends with him though.
Right? I didn't want to kill him.
Yeah, I definitely will be keeping. I'll finish it. There's no doubt about that I'll finish it at this point. It's fully sucked me in. Unfortunately, I just have too many other small roguelike distraction games that I want to do quote, one round of before I start playing
Yeah.
Hollow Knight, and then you know how that goes.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, without doubt, I will probably have this wrapped up by next week, and we'll be thankful to have experienced it. I see what all the fuss is about now.
And then we'll have to hop on to Silksong, I guess.
Oh, and as far as Silk Song is interesting because I've heard that the difficulty is actually punishing. I have
Yes.
not felt that the difficulty in Hollow Knight is anything. I'm not saying it's an easy game, but when I died, I felt like it was my fault versus like I'm like that was cheap and screw this game. I felt like the difficulty is right where it needs to be. You do have to kind of have your wits about you, just like in Castlevania, and remember to find your benches to save on before you go running into the boss room.
Yeah, I screwed myself there.
Yeah, it happens. It happens in Castlevania games too, man. It's like, oh yeah, never went into that room, and now I have to do the last half hour over again now.
How many of the map upgrades have you bought? Like, did you buy the compass?
I have the
and
compass and
the little things that mark different rooms.
So I haven't known if I thought all of them would be useful, and are some of them just like my ability to now place blue markers on my map? So I haven't bought those, but like I have the bench one that tells you where all the benches
Yes,
are.
those
and
are
all
the
that
ones.
stuff.
Yeah, I haven't bought the other ones yet because I think those are for you to place.
Yeah,
but I was
and so
wondering if
I
you
was
bought
just
the
kinda like,
bench ones
meh.
to. Yeah.
But yeah, so I know where the benches are, where like the I think there's a boss one, whatever else there was. Yeah, that's kind of where I am right now, is just trying to beef up with everything I need as far as well, you can get abilities or tokens, is that what they call them?
Yeah, charms maybe.
Charms, yeah, okay. Trying to
Yeah, I've
figure out what I
unlocked,
need
like,
there. I haven't referenced the
5 or 6
walkthrough
of
yet,
those.
which good for me in dad gaming mode.
I'm proud of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I refuse to. I think for most video games, it's like unless I've tried something and tried it and banged my head against the wall, I'm like I still just want to be able to do it.
Well, I think the definition of
Which-
a good Metroidvania and great game design is it intuitively kind of guides you along, just gently pushing you to where
Yeah.
to go next, and it makes sense. Whereas, and I'll throw this under the bus here, I know it's a very well-loved game, Metroid Prime is a first-person Metroidvania, and good God, I got lost in that game impossibly over and over again and hated navigating it, which I'd never felt in this game.
Of course, we're still. Although you say you've got about 8 to 10 hours into it,
I would something like that. I'd have to go look, but yeah, I've been
so
playing
you
it.
definitely got more than I have.
I've been playing like I don't know, an hour a night, but I'm very much a every single crevice type of
Yeah.
Metroidvania player. So yeah, you very well might have unlocked things that I'm not even onto yet.
So yeah, I think we're going to keep this up.
This game was funded via Kickstarter for $57,000. Good God.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, partially
yeah,
financed
I
at least,
mean,
but
We could look at the background of it for next week to talk about a little bit more, but like the history behind the making of this game and the making of Silksong it's actually pretty damn interesting.
oh, is there like a documentary or anything that I can check out?
Not necessarily.
Like
It's more
a
like
YouTube
interviews,
making of feature.
yeah. I mean, actually, at some point, someone probably has made a YouTube like documentary of it, but it's just articles I've read with the creators and stuff like that. Just it's been really interesting to see them talk about like the process and creating the game and why it took so long to make Silksong and their reasoning behind it. And it's all like, yeah, you know what? I am fully on board with that. That makes a ton of sense.
A lot to live up to.
It is. And who knows if it did? Because, like you said, a lot of people have complained that the difficulty is just way too high in Silksong, which I can't comment on because I haven't touched it yet. But I enjoy that kind of gaming. I to a point, I guess I'd say. I don't want to be completely beat over the head and make it into homework, but I still enjoy a challenge in a
I
video
want
game.
challenge. You're left feeling with nothing. That's why I've never understood people that like cheat at Call of Duty or something. Like, what's like the fun in you're not achieving anything? You don't know that you're better than the other people because you're just cheating. So where's the enjoyment out of that kind of thing?
The enjoyment is making the other people not happy. Like
right,
they're literally
but-
people
or,
that
okay,
get
well,
off on
let's, yeah. I mean,
see
it's
that.
I never owned a Game Genie. Let's put it that way.
Yeah.
But But yeah, I think the difficulty's right on point. And as long as I'm not getting to the point where I want to chuck the controller because I think it's unfair or cheap or anything, which I've never felt at all. It's just a matter of, okay, I died there because I did not memorize what this boss is doing and I just need to get better at the patterns. And I'll try 2 more times and then get it. And all right, that's fair. Good challenge. Onward. Yeah, I haven't felt frustrated at any point. I've felt like it's right in the pocket of where it should be, honestly.
I'm expecting the difficulty's obviously going to go up the further it gets.
Sure.
I'm going to guess maybe not, because maybe if you scale your character.
Well, I was
going to
say your guy gets more badass as you go.
He definitely does. He's a lot better than he was the first hour or so I played. I can tell you that much.
Which brings us then to assignments for the upcoming week. And I get a movie that you haven't told me what it is yet, and I want to know.
Yes. So, what would you say if I told you that you would be watching a movie that has Anthony Carrigan, who we both know that you absolutely love from Barry, that has John Candy's son, Christopher Candy, that has our good friend, I assume friend of the podcast, I don't know, maybe not, Alex Winter.
Yeah,
And
Alex Winter rules.
a guy that I'm not huge on personally. I enjoyed his work in The New Girl, which I'm not sure if you ever watched that show, but otherwise, I could take him or leave him. But Josh Gad also. is in this movie.
Yeah. I don't love him.
I don't
but
either. But
he's as long as he's just playing Josh Gad, I'm fine with it.
I think he is. So this movie that I'd like you to watch, and I'm going to watch it myself because I haven't watched it yet. I came across this a couple months ago, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to hold this in my pocket because I think this would be a fun movie for both of us to watch.
I'm intrigued.
It's called
what
Adulthood.
Adulthood. Okay. That is NoHo Hank and Alex Winter?
Yeah. Alex Winter directed it, and he's a producer,
Oh.
and he has a part in it.
Okay.
It came out last year. It's September of last year. I'm going to guess a fairly small release. So the quick paragraph synopsis is: when siblings Megan and Noah uncover a long-buried corpse in their parents' basement, they stumble into a wildly escalating spiral of crime, cover-ups, and murder. The deeper they dig, the harder it becomes to escape.
Love it. Oh,
It-
yeah. Directed and produced and starring Alex Winter.
Yep.
Into it.
So reviews seem kind of all over the place, which means
Okay.
it might be right up my alley,
Oh, it's rated R, so that's a good sign for a comedy like this, I think.
especially an Alex Winter directed
Yeah,
comedy.
so this really brings us full circle here because I'm looking at the Wikipedia page and I have seen the poster for this movie, and every time I've seen it, I'm like, I have absolutely zero interest in ever finding out anything about that. It's some Josh Gad piece of shit vehicle that's going to be a middling 5 comedy that I might chuckle at once and otherwise is completely forgettable.
And it still
I
might
never
be.
would have known that this has anything to do with horror icon master Alex Winter. Damn you, PR department.
So yeah, like I said, I haven't seen this yet. I've had it in my library for a couple months now, and I was going to watch it, and I was like, you know what? I think this might be fun for both of us to get for both of us to experience it, and
Hey,
then
man,
come in
if-
fresh of watching
If you
it.
can put together watching time, I'm still down to try out this Plex Watch Together feature that we got to try out.
Does that work? I
If
thought
we have the Plex Pass, I think we're grandfathered into keeping it. It's still there on the desktop at least.
I guess we could try it.
Yeah, I'm
What's-
just
what's the-
curious. We could
the
even
harm?
we could record a Riff Tracks episode after we watch it, or during it.
So yeah,
I will check this out. I'm excited about this because this, I think, is right to your point. It's that I would have skipped right over it and never would have paid it any mind until someone told me to watch it.
and now look at that. Wyatt told you to watch it.
So this wasn't, it doesn't look like it was in any real festival. Oh, no. Okay. It was in Toronto.
The Toronto Film Festival.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
71% on RT. Yeah. That's, oh, it's only 14 reviews.
Yeah, that's what I saw. It
Nobody
hasn't.
saw the damn thing. Yeah.
It
This
had
isn't on
a-
streaming anywhere? No.
I don't think so. It had a limited theater release on September 19th. So it probably spent 2 weeks in 15 locations.
Yep.
And
Then
which
got chucked to VOD hell, and until someone picks it up for Hulu or something, is probably going to live out its life there, huh?
I mean, Kill All Neighbors. I don't think that had a theatrical release either. That was just a Shudder movie, I think, wasn't it?
Oh yeah, that was Shudder original production. Yeah, that was
Which-
like the second movie they did or something.
And I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
So I kind of have high hopes of seeing another Alex Winter kind of comedy-esque horror type thriller movie. So
Yeah, I mean, you tell me he's involved and it involves comedy horror, I'm in. That's an automatic watch. I'm down. So until next week, then I'm gonna watch it on Friday.
yeah, I probably will too. I think we've kind of settled into Friday nights being our movie watching
This
night.
tells you a lot about our busy social lives.
Yeah, right. 10 years ago, it would have been like, where am I going to go meet up with my buddies until 2 o'clock in the morning? And now it's like, I'm going to watch a movie from 6 to 8, and then I'm going to start to unwind.
Then I have ice cream.
Oh, no. You literally just described. That's exactly what happened last night.
Why?
We
It's like,
watched
that's not
Stranger-
what is it. That's not exactly how it goes. This week
Yeah.
I made brownies, so
I had a
it's gonna be
brownie with my
brownies and
ice cream.
Yeah.
You bastard.
The joys of middle age.
Ugh, don't remind me. All right. Well, anyways, it was great kind of starting to get back into the swing of things aside from actually, no, getting into the swing of things includes having my internet drop out in the middle of an episode.
No, I
so,
wouldn't be. We don't have it yet without that.
yeah, exactly. That's what people appreciate about us is that we give them those little breaks that they can also go to the bathroom while we have our
And hey,
technical
if you
difficulties.
do listen and like and appreciate us, maybe go tell a friend. Maybe tell your social media friends that this is a good show that they should check out.
Maybe
We'll appreciate
we're
it.
we're on Blue Sky. Maybe, reskeet our promotion that we only remember to do once every couple weeks.
Every other week.
or so,
Yeah.
or-
All right, I'm gonna get some handhelds coming in here. We're gonna do some giveaways. We're gonna get folks involved. That means if
gonna
you're already
beg
here,
people to
the
like us.
likelihood that you could win something if you're already a listener is so exceedingly high that it's going to be so in your interest to make you promote my show for me.
Although, wouldn't that backfire? Because then if you get more people listening to the show, they're gonna have a lesser chance.
Well, I think the idea is that, like, subscribe and repost this wherever, and you'll get an automatic entry to possibly win a Nick handheld. As the numbers are still quite modest at this time,
Only a couple thousand.
those people would get the entries and have a much higher chance of winning. But I guess that would bring in other entries of people that were just interested in the handheld. Just sell it my
Just do it
way.
because you love us,
God, yeah.
and maybe you'll get a handheld.
Maybe more. Maybe
Maybe.
a hand jib. Who knows?
Whoa. All right, we got to cut this off because I think
Meet
you
and
just
greet's coming up.
demonetized all of the money that we get from YouTube. All right, thanks everyone for listening once again. For Nick, I'm Wyatt. We will talk to you next week.
Bye-bye, everybody.